Hey everyone, this is Nick from Mecca Warehouse, and today we're back with weekly update number 136. Obviously, I'm not the warehouse today, a little bit different than normal, and so we're going to have a little bit of a weekly update, a little bit of a different weekly update today, probably shorter too. So, short version is I ended up leaving kind of early on Tuesday, not feeling well. I actually woke up Tuesday morning not feeling quite normal, but after a little bit of time, ended up feeling well enough to go in. Came in a little bit late for me, but by mid-afternoon I was feeling a little bit off. Decided to close the dojo for the day. Went home a little bit early. Came home and then realized it was a really good idea that I came home. I was not feeling well at all Tuesday night, and then Tuesday night and Wednesday only got kind of worse, and thought I was doing better Wednesday night going into Thursday until the middle of the night, and I'm still not feeling well. I think I got the same stomach bug the kids had. Kate has it as well. We both got hit with it just about the same time, unfortunately. So we're both dealing with that this week. So I've been home and just dealing with not feeling well for obvious reasons. It's been less than fun. I would much rather be at the warehouse working my ass off, or doing anything for that matter other than what I'm doing. Thankfully, I'm able to get some stuff done from home and try to rest in between, and so it's been working out okay for the most part. Back at the warehouse, I only was there for Tuesday, so I've got a little bit less idea what's going on. And Monday, obviously, was the holiday, so we were closed on Monday. I think we're a little bit short-staffed this week. I think Brent had a planned absence today on Thursday, but I think despite all that, we're running pretty smoothly. We got caught up from the weekend pretty easily, I think. Got some shipments in for the restocks and managed to get all that done pretty easily from what I understand. So we're in good shape, I think, for the week. And I guess despite being a short week and the fun that comes with that sometimes, it's been a relatively good week for me to be out, I think. Of course, I'll come back and they'll tell me about all the disasters that happened when I was gone or whatever. So that's the main stuff for Week in Review this week. The other one is that the Redacted boxes are out there, so you might want to skip ahead if you don't want to know what they are. But the Redacted boxes are out. It's the Tamatu from Kotobukiya, and we're expecting, I think at this point, if you're seeing this video now, it's too late, but if you're in the contest, we are expecting questions by June 1st, which is the day that we're filming this. Hopefully beginning of next week, we will film a rules clarification video where we cover all sorts of stuff like, questions that people have. Can I do this and have it be out of the box? If I do open and do this, is that allowed? Things like that. Just to make sure we've got one cohesive response to all the questions and rules clarifications. So that way there's no chance that we're accidentally giving one person a different answer than somebody else, or write it in a different way that conveys something slightly differently. It's all going to be kind of returned in the same way to everybody, if that makes sense. So that's it for Week in Review. Let's move on to pre-orders. And I haven't actually posted the pre-orders for the morning yet. I had kind of a late morning getting up because of not feeling well last night. So they'll be going up shortly. So we'll probably either scroll the pre-orders, or I'll come back and do them, or somebody will come back and do them. We'll figure that out. All right, back for pre-orders. We had a bunch of new pre-orders this week. I'm going to read them off in no particular order, just for efficiency on my end's sake today. So first up, the MSG Mecha Supply 11 joint set Type C. So it's a set of mecha joints for customization. Think like polycaps. I'm not sure if they are polycaps or just raw plastic, but they might be helpful for things like that. The new Megami device Chaos and Pretty Grandma. We mentioned that during the Shizuoka Hobby Show video a couple weeks back, so pre-orders are now up for that. Motonuclear, the Motonuclear MNP XH01 by Key, which looks like a kind of a unique robot design. I'm not sure what it's based on, or if it's just a robot for robot's sake. Kotobukiya Mecha Supply 19 joint set Type E. So this is another set of joints good for customization and kit bashing. MSG Heavy Weapon Unit 09 Vortex Driver. It looks like basically a very large drill. Could be an interesting weapon for a custom build. Studio Syoto, the Syoto Seiko Figure Mansion. It's basically a acrylic display case. Not exactly sure on sizing off the top of my head, but maybe we can put in a picture with stuff for Gale. Next up, Kotobukiya Hexagear Governor Lat Solid Prime and the Lat Solid Cradle, 2 separate kits in the Hexagear Governor line. Good Smile also has the new Motoroid Mazen Kaiser. And then we have 2 more Hexagear, the Governor Weapons Combat Assortment 01 and 02. So that's it for pre-orders. Let's move on to whatever's next. Next up is Team Picks. Team Picks is the part where the guys in the warehouse talk about some builds that they recently did and brought in. So check that out.
Hi, Dylan here. Today I brought in the Megami Device Ganessa. Honestly, really big kit. The box is huge for it. I think the price point you get for all the plastic in it is super worth it. So if you're looking for a really big project, I think this is one to go. The weapons are cool. The base girl is pretty solid. All the other attachments are really awesome. I think it's kind of just worth it in the end, and it's worth looking into the other Megami Device stuff along with her.
Hey everybody, for show and tell today I brought in the Ink Dragon from Shanks Technologies. I got this kit because it is a sick dragon. The looks wise is amazing. It is one of the most beautiful kits that I think I have built. It's also one of the biggest kits that I've built. It's probably like, when it's posed right now, I think about the size of like a really big master grade or maybe a small perfect grade, with just the way that it like coils up around itself. It's definitely not for beginners. If you are intermediate or advanced, I would definitely recommend trying out this kit. Looks amazing. One of the most beautiful kits I own. I recommend.
Okay, that's it for Team Picks. Let's do Q&A. So first up from Plastic Crack 305. Hope Memorial Day weekend goes well for yourself and the Back Warehouse team. Question: which gunpla influencer or influencers would you consider to be the best currently? Also, will Armored Core kits become available to order at the website? So I'll answer that second part first. We just had an Armored Core kit for Early Bird and came in stock. It was one of the older releases, I think. I'm probably going to try to grab more of those if they're still available with the distributors that carry Kotobukiya stuff, because they did go super fast, I think, probably because of the recent game announcement. And there is supposedly a new Armored Core kit in progress. We haven't seen any like early prototypes or images or even which one it's going to be. But there is talk about that, so we expect we'll have more Armored Core stuff in the future. As for the first question, I don't really know. I don't pay that much attention to the gunpla influencer space. How do you categorize what's better or best than somebody else? Is it larger? Is it how they perform in their content, in their videos, in whatever they're doing? There's definitely some that are doing it well because they've got large followings. There's some that are doing it well, I think, based on what they're doing, but I don't really know that there's one that I'd consider the best, and I honestly haven't really been following, so anything I would say would probably be a representation of like 2 years ago when I was very active on Instagram, and now I'm just kind of dabbling, so I don't really want to answer that question just out of it being my information being dated. I just don't have time to kind of follow that stuff closely. Next up, Burnt Dorito. What was the inspiration for your mascot? I think he says his name is Blue01. Was it just a random design you came up with on the fly? Do you design and create other mecha in your spare time? So this one, Blue01, it was the creation of an artist on Fiverr, actually. So when it was time to come up with a logo at the beginning, I didn't really have anybody directly in my circle of influence at the time because I was so small and I wasn't doing all that much stuff that was an artist, really. And so I went to Fiverr. The first person I went to on Fiverr had all sorts of great examples, couldn't seem to create a robot to save his life, and ended up going separate ways with that one. And then found another artist that I think was in Indonesia, happened to be a gunpla builder, which is great. So he understood kind of what I was going for and just came up with the Blue01 design kind of off the cuff. I should go back and see if I can find him. That would be an awesome interview or something to talk to him at some point, because he was the dude that originally created the original logo. We didn't decide to call him Blue01 until later. That's more when Nickel Models came on board, who's done a lot of the artwork since and all the further renditions of Blue. And that kind of fleshed out a lot of the other details that weren't visible in the original logo image and stuff like that. A random fun question: ramen or pho or both? I have to go with ramen. I'm not even sure if I've ever had pho. I might have. That's with the Thai noodle dish or something. I just don't get many opportunities to eat at Thai restaurants, I guess. So definitely ramen. Okay, one more question. Plastic germs. If you could make something Mecha Warehouse exclusive for the hobby, i.e. tools, paint, color, desktop organization, what would it be? I think the first thing that we would make tool wise, we've definitely talked about trying to make our own nipper. But if we were going to make our own nipper, it wouldn't be just a rebrand of an existing nipper, which is basically any other gunpla shop that has their own nipper is just taking another nipper that already exists and private labeling it. Nothing wrong with that per se, but I think if we were going to do it, we would try to do it and make it our own. We've talked about trying to do cutting mats at some point. Unfortunately, the minimum quantities to press the cutting mats are pretty significantly large, and we would need to make a lot of them. And the scale that we would need to do it at just doesn't make sense at the moment. I'm sure that there's other things that we would make as well, but those would probably be the first couple things we would do or will do when we get there, when we're ready for it. And then fun question, if you could trade places with a person for a day, who would it be? Right now, anybody who's not sick sounds like a good person to trade places with. In reality, though, I'm trying to think who I would trade places with for a day. And I guess if I'm trading places with somebody right now, I wouldn't want to trade places with somebody who's already dead, because that wouldn't be good. I don't know. I feel like there's certain, like, it'd be interesting just to see what life is like for somebody like, say, Elon Musk, or somebody who's an entrepreneur at a super high level, a Gary Vee, or somebody like that, to see what it's like to be in their shoes and what they deal with and how they run their businesses. But I feel like if I'm trading places with them, I'm not really seeing what they're doing so much as doing things as them for a day. And not that I could do anything, say, as Elon Musk, that would be more destabilizing than what he does right now sometimes. I don't know that would be good. So it's kind of hard, but something like that. I would love to be able to be a fly on the wall for somebody in those kind of shoes, to see what they're dealing with at that more significant scale, and how that stuff operates, just because it would be really interesting. Or maybe feeling that somebody who is, 2 steps down the road from where I am and where I'm hopefully going would be kind of interesting. All right, so that's it for questions. If you have a question you want answered, post it down in the comments below. I'll do my best to answer it next time. Thank you for watching. See you next time.